Alrighty, we had to get our friend out of the way so we can now move into the lesson because our friend there was ready to time our lesson, as the white rabbit always seems to do. Hello, sixth grade. Welcome to Soul Studies. What I'd like to inform everybody is you all came up with a Wax Museum speech. Miss C and I are thrilled that you came up with something of a much better quality than you began with. Some, stronger than others, but all stronger than how they started off. So that was extraordinary. That's the goal. Now, you know as much as I do when it comes to that activity. So what I've done is we've hit pause in the activity. What I asked you to do, I asked you please, is save that document. I promise one way or another, we're going to go back to it before the end of the year. So whether it's digitally here or in school, whatever we need to do, we're going to use it, okay? So don't get rid of it. Don't delete anything. Leave it in the document, and let's move forward. So sixth, let's take a look at where we are right now. So what I'm going to do is hit pause on that unit. We're going to move into the Byzantine Empire. So there's some individuals, like our great friend Justin, who was well informed already about this empire because of his individual that he studied. There's some other people too that feel comfortable here. So what I'd like to tell you is we're going to begin with this unit, and there's some specifics. So let me share the screen so we can get into the specifics here. Okay, so I just went ahead and made a video that I posted about copy and pasting issue that I've been having. I hope everybody realizes that I'm doing my very best to help you, and I need you all to do the very best to help yourselves. Don't copy and paste anything. There's some individuals that have reached out to me and have asked me to help them, not sure how to word something. Is this okay? Is this not okay? And that's absolutely fantastic. Please don't copy and paste. I'm trying to help you. Copy and paste is not really helping yourself. What I want to tell you is right now, if we were in the classroom, we'd begin this unit with a note sheet, pencil, and we'd write. You have a few options here, sixth grade. I've attached a note sheet if anybody would like to go ahead and print that out. You're not required to, but I know there's some people who would like to. If you'd rather go ahead and type it, you may. At the same time, if you type it, please make sure that you go ahead and save it with a proper title so you can find these notes. Or if you have a great straight edge, you can go ahead and use that on a lined piece of paper. Draw a line, questions on the left. Okay, don't forget questions left. Keep it neat, info on the right. So either typed with a normal color, black, Times New Roman, size 12, normal. You'd still write the question. You'd have the question, bullets, question, bullets, or a note sheet. You want to print a new one, or maybe you have one left over from school, or grab a straight edge and you could write your questions on the left, info on the right on a piece of paper or directly in a notebook for Soul Studies. That's where we are right now, and I'm fine with that. What I would like you to do is, as always, topic and essential question. The topic for this unit is the Byzantine Empire. So please write Byzantine Empire as the topic. And the essential question is on the bottom. So if you need to pause it, is how can a clear understanding of the rise and fall of the Byzantine Empire allow us to understand the changes that it brought to the world? So how can the rise and fall of this great empire allow us to understand the changes that it brought to this world? Then, now, and always. Take a moment at any time, pause if you need to. Okay, here's what we need to do. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this just so I can share with you for a moment, because it's a little difficult with the bar on the top for me to see and share with you. Okay, so right here, the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, where we leave it, or where we left it, was divided in the late 200s AD. So 200 years after the death of Christ, the Roman Empire is divided. You may recall the Roman Empire, growing into Christianity. We were definitely focusing big on that. We did touch upon in class the division of the empire and how it became weak. It became weak by internal and external forces. Okay, it became weak by both internal and external forces. What that means, guys, is there were problems in the inside of the empire and outside. Internal, think of inside. External, outside. So you had many problems within the empire and on the outside of the empire. Power ends up shifting to the east. Okay, Germanic invaders weaken the western half of the once great Roman Empire. So the once great Roman Empire all of a sudden is going to grow weak from invaders, from Germanic invaders. I'm sure there's not one person in this class that doesn't remember that. I'm sure you all remember that Rome becomes weak through invaders. You remember Rome having to pay money to protect themselves, and many of you said, wow, by them having to pay money for people to stop invading makes them look pretty weak, right? And hopefully you remember that. Doesn't look as the great Roman Empire that we once had. So on the left-hand side, with these few bullets that I'm going to show you, please jot down what were the issues in Rome. So your question on the left should be, what are the issues in Rome? So we have internal and external issues. Power shifts to the east, okay, as invaders impact the western half of the once great Roman Empire. Okay, 330. Some of you know this name pretty clearly, especially through your newscast projects too. Emperor Constantine had built a new capital in the city called Constantinople. It's like a continuation of where we left off, on the site of a Greek city. So Emperor Constantine builds a new capital, just like the capital we have for the state of Connecticut is in Hartford. Well, Emperor Constantine builds a new capital in Constantinople. Okay, that's going to be what it's called. Obviously, it's named after him. It's the site of the Greek city. Okay, and you say, wow, it looks like Byzantine, right? Well, that's where you have it come from. Okay, Byzantium. Byzantium is the site of this Greek city. Byzantine Empire rises from this site. So the Byzantine Empire would go ahead and rise from this site. It's pretty interesting. So you're going to start to see a evolution, so to say, in growth. So what was Constantinople? Could be on the left. What was Constantinople on the left-hand side, please? Okay. At its height, the Byzantine Empire covered an area from Rome, okay, right here from Rome, through southeastern Europe and Asia Minor. So through southeastern Europe, okay, southeastern Europe and Asia Minor. Down to Egypt, so all the way down to Egypt, okay, and across North Africa. So if you take a look, what I did here on this map is I want to show you the territory that this empire once covered. So in green is what the Byzantine Empire covered. Okay, you're going to want to jot down what I have here. Remember, none of this has to be word for word. It can be in bullets, put in your own words, but it has to have the same meaning. So on the left-hand side, how large was the Byzantine Empire? How large was the Byzantine Empire? If you take a look at the map, many of you are going to realize it covers an incredible amount of territory. You're looking at the green. They cover an area from Rome through southeastern Europe and Asia Minor and all the way down, okay, to Egypt and across North Africa, right across here by the Mediterranean Sea. So this whole area here where the Mediterranean Sea is, you have a lot of what is the Byzantine Empire. Incredibly large. So what was the city of Constantinople on the left-hand side, please? What was the city of Constantinople? The city of Constantinople was on a peninsula, okay? I have an image so you can see. Was on a peninsula overlooking a strait, okay? Bosporus. overlooking the Bosporus. Usually we call on some friends, right? Brianna, how do we say that? And we try, right? Bosporus, a strait that connects the Black Sea to the Mediterranean Sea. So Constantinople is this peninsula, and it's going to overlook Bosporus, which is a strait that connects the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so it's going to connect the Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea. From its central location, the city controlled key trade routes that linked both Europe and Asia. Think about that for a moment. Why would, if we're in class right now, I would ask, why do you believe the city would control key trade routes? Or why would the city want to control key trade routes that linked Europe and Asia? Why would they do so? Well, trade helps an area flourish. Trade would help the empire flourish. So if it's going to be connected, okay, it's a central location. A location is essential, right? Location is extremely important. You think of having a restaurant, right? If we have a restaurant on Main Street, more people are going to see it than a restaurant on Rosemont Terrace in the back, right? Not many people would see it as if it was on Main Street. So location is key to businesses, and location was key to trade back then too. So you have this city of Constantinople in a perfect location for trade, okay? And they're going to control trade routes that linked Europe and Asia. So they're going to have a great control on goods coming in and out of that area. At the same time, they'd be able to have, as we would say, first dibs on several items that they may feel beneficial to their area as well. So take a moment and jot that down and really think about the importance of trade routes. Because location of trade routes can make or break an area, an empire, absolutely. When did the Byzantine Empire reach its peak on the left? When did the Byzantine Empire reach its peak on the left? The Byzantine Empire reached its peak. Peak is the high point. When does it reach the high point? It reaches the high point under Emperor Justinian, right? Similar to our friend Justin in a way, right? Justinian was an autocratic ruler, meaning a single ruler with complete authority. A single ruler with complete authority. Can you think of any other individuals in history who are a single ruler with complete authority? Does our president now and any of the other past, any of the 45 presidents have complete authority? No. You have our government based on different branches that can check on each other. Legislative, executive, and judicial branch. So our government was not designed, the United States government was not designed to have an autocratic ruler. Autocratic ruler is one ruler who has complete authority to make decisions, to break decisions, if they want to increase trade, they can make the call. They want to decrease trade, they make the call. They have that complete control, and Justinian was one of those individuals. I don't know if you could think of any throughout history, but some, if you know a little bit about World War II, you might think of Adolf Hitler. Some may also have other individuals that come to mind. My grandparents grew up in Italy during World War II, fascist Italy. You may think of Benito Mussolini, who had great authority during that time, who had that final say. There's a lot that you could think of throughout history, and there's possibly others that you think of that we've covered this year too. So think of a few for a moment where it was their final say, and whatever they said went. Is that a good thing? Maybe. Is it a bad thing? Yeah, maybe. Absolutely for either could have been my answer too, because it depends what we're looking at, okay? There are some issues. Right now, let's say if we had a complete ruler who said, let's go ahead and open up the country and all schools are open and we can go back to work and gyms are open and sports start, would everybody feel safe to go back to everything? I'm not sure. I don't believe we would. We'd say, well, maybe we want to wait a little bit of time. So if a single ruler has that complete authority, that can be sometimes to the negative. That sometimes can be to the positive too. Because let's say we had a single ruler who says, we're going to keep everything shut until we see a decline and nobody can make that move and I can control everything, right? Our country is not based that way where one individual can control everything. One individual cannot say, I'm going to cut off trade with Rome. I'm going to cut off trade with Rome. We're not trading anymore. That's not going to be a one-person decision, guys. But for Justinian, it was. So who was Justinian on the left-hand side? Okay, again, not to be confused with our great friend Justin. But who was Justinian on the left-hand side? Emperor Justinian becomes known for his laws. He becomes well known for his laws, and they are known as a collection of ancient laws. They're viewed as ancient laws. They are known as Justinian's Code. We see them as Justinian's Code, Code of Law. The written set of laws became the basis of today's international laws. So today's international laws are set up based on Justinian's laws. So he's known for his collection of laws. Again, he has that complete authority to make them or to break them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and post a little video on Justinian. So I'd like you to take a look at that after as well. So it's going to be a second portion. So you could see a little bit about his laws. To really, really understand them, I'd like you to look at that a little later today. So that'll be the second portion. Okay. Now, architecture. I'm going to show you some architecture before anything. So if we were in class right now, what I like to do is, what do you see here? What do you notice? Well, you notice some pretty magnificent structures. Some people might say, wow, we have a lot of ancient structures here. Some people might say, well, look at some of those buildings. It looks as if I've seen some of them in a Star Wars film. Maybe the towers there look pretty interesting, right? Some people might see a basis of religion. You look a little deeper inside, you take a look at the dome. Emily might say, oh, did our great friend Michelangelo construct the dome? Not this one, but because it's truly, inspiring here. And we see the amount of color that's used, gold, riches, jewels, pretty magnificent. What is this? What is this? In the area of architecture, Justinian is going to play a crucial role. Justinian is going to blend, make sure you have this down here. Justinian is going to blend Roman, Greek, Persian, and Middle Eastern styles. That's why when I showed you that, many of you might not say, oh, that's in Rome, or that's in Greece, or that's in Persia, or that's located in the Middle East. That may not have come to your mind. It might have looked like a blend. That's why I use that Star Wars example. Like, where'd it come from? It doesn't look like it belongs to a particular area. That's because he blends all of this. And this becomes known, okay? This is the best known structure created with that blend of architecture. It's known as the Church of Holy Wisdom. It's known as the Church of Holy Wisdom when you translate it, okay? The Church of Holy Wisdom when it's translated. And what you realize is this Church of Holy Wisdom has a tremendous amount of architecture that is blended in together. An incredible amount of architecture that is blended in together. The floor plans, the models are going to blend Greek, Roman, Persian, Middle Eastern styles, and that's thanks to our great friend Justinian. So through Justinian, we have a new type of architecture and a new type of design never seen before. Pretty interesting, because if you look here, if I showed you this, I mean, there might be some individuals say, oh, that's a Roman architecture because of the dome. It could look that way. Then you take a look a little closer. It necessarily doesn't look like something in Rome. Could it be something in Greece? I don't know. It depends on what you structure with Greece. Would it be Egypt? Probably not, right? It doesn't look like any structures we've seen there. Then if you look deeply here, I'm sure some of you would look at the writing and say, well, what's going on with the writing here? And it doesn't look like your traditional church either. So is this a Catholic church? Many individuals say, doesn't look that way. Why? What's missing? Well, what's missing is, where's the crucifix? So obviously not, but it's essential to look at the writing too, where you see the blending of different cultures, right? Middle Eastern cultures. And you see, for friends who remember with the art project that we're going to be presenting next week, what's interesting with the art project is you see that heavy influence that a lot of you studied individuals who are Italian artists who went ahead, and you see a lot of connections to scripture. Well, here you don't really see that. A lot of ancient churches in Italy would go ahead and have many saints, many martyrs, paintings, crucifix, and you don't see that here. And if you think back to Rome, the reason why is because how Rome was heavily influenced through Christianity. Now, here's where we go back into connecting with Christianity. The Byzantine does make contribution to art as well. How does the Byzantine Empire contribute to art on the left-hand side, please? How does the Byzantine Empire contribute to art on the left-hand side? How does the Byzantine Empire contribute to art? The Byzantine Empire is going to make great contributions. Icons, look at the images here. Icons were images of Jesus, the Virgin Mary, and other holy saints and martyrs and apostles, individuals that are essential to our faith. The purpose of these icons that the Byzantine Empire made was to make it seem like the holy person was actually there. So it was supposed to look as if Jesus was there in front of you, okay? If you look at these paintings, they look incredibly, incredibly real. It's supposed to look as if Mary is there with you. Christ is there speaking to you, listening to your prayers, okay? They wanted the holy person to be there. Now, if we were in class, I'd ask a question. Do we worship icons? No. No, we only worship God. Can we pray to the icons? No. We can pray to the individuals depicted, seen in the icon. We can pray to Christ. We can pray to Mary. We can pray to Saint Joseph. But we don't pray to the icon. We pray to the individual who is depicted. And we only worship God. And Mary herself reminds us that we only worship God. And we see these images. Some of you may have seen these images before, okay? Similar images, especially the one on the right. These images start to come out in the Byzantine Empire. It's a greater focus on icons and on artwork, okay? The Byzantine Empire also comes up with this unique style. And I know Miss Vincent has talked about this with other students. I don't know about 6th grade yet. But when you have these little pieces and you created mosaics, some of you might have done this before. Byzantine artists are responsible for that. It's because the Byzantine artists developed mosaics. They are pictures or designs formed by inlaid pieces of stone or other material. So pieces of stone and other material are put together to have these mosaics. And these mosaics generally would have, as you can see here, religious themes. So this was going beyond the traditional paintings, the frescoes. Think of Michelangelo, his work with stone. Okay, this is going beyond the marble sculptures. This is going beyond your sketches or traditional paintings. This is a unique way, and you have to look at these paintings, and you see little pieces. Some of you may have created mosaics before. You see little pieces put together to create this. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Disney World in Florida. If you've been to Disney World in Florida, you know, you go into the Magic Kingdom, there's a great castle, right? You have Cinderella's castle, magnificent structure. If you hit it at the right time is when they don't have a show there, right? I'm not a big fan of that. It takes up a lot of my time. So they have a great show there. If you like the different shows with our friends Mickey and all of that being silly, go check it out. But I've seen him do that so many times, so he's a little boring right now. But we appreciate him. But anyway, we go through the castle, and if you've ever walked through the castle, if you walk through the castle, think of, maybe some of you even have photographs, you can look online. There's Cinderella mosaics, okay? They're little tiny pieces put together to create little pieces of inlaid stone and other materials to create these images. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look online, Cinderella Castle mosaics. It's incredible. Those were designed by great Italian artists for the Walt Disney Company in the late 1960s, early 1970s. But you could see this here. It's incredible image. Well, what is this? This is a mosaic. Those are tiny pieces of stone put together to go ahead and have this great image of our Blessed Mother. It's a unique, different style. And you can see how difficult this would be, guys. It's the blending of different colors. Notice the darks combined with the lights. And you see the light focusing in on Mary, then getting darker where there should be shadows. So the individuals who designed this had to be pretty creative in the stones that they used. This image of Christ. In a way, it looks like a painting, but if you look closely, they're tiny little pieces here that the artists use of stone and other material to create this piece. They're not just using one tone of brown or one, dark brown or light brown or just white. They're going ahead and they're combining a lot to get these shadows and to get this to be realistic. Remember, a goal is to make this art realistic for you. What I'd like you to do right now is to go ahead and realize we're going to cover one final piece right here. And this is going to be where we leave off for today. There's two parts though, guys. You have these notes. What I'd like you to do is take a photo of the notes or go ahead and post the typed out notes. And this is where we will leave off. What is a schism on the left-hand side? What is a schism on the left-hand side? A schism is a division, a break, a split. In 1504, there was a permanent schism, a split between the Orthodox Christian Church in the East and the Roman Catholic Church in the West. So the Roman Catholic Church is split, okay, with the Orthodox Christian Church in the East. So the East is split from the West. We're going to talk about this in greater detail, but as you can see, anytime you have this disagreement where one side is split from another, you don't have a lot of good things coming from that, right? It's like when you get in a disagreement with your friends. You don't just come back together pretty quickly, even though we wish. And that's where we leave off. Post the picture, submit the notes, and then there's part 2 where I have a little video clip for you to take a look at as well. So have both, Thursday, 8 p.m. Thank you. Take care. Keep learning. Until next time, we'll see you